Welcome to Perfectly Twisted. It's Nicole Eggert and Dave Palais. Thanks for joining us.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So you can see my little mic I've got going on. Um,
I see a lot going on. Okay, so I see the mic. I see the skulls on the wall, which I've
oh,
never seen before. And
oh,
then maybe just the way the camera was in the past.
yeah.
And I see, I believe, a soccer jersey on.
You know, I love a jersey. I always love a jersey, and we all know I'm not a sports fan. Um, so yeah, I pull them out and like, why not? I have a couple soccer jerseys, and I'm like, everybody's wearing them. Let's wear them.
They
But it's
are.
funny because I wear them just in general, anyways, because I think they're fun and I think they're cute. But I wore it the other day out, and someone said, "Oh, so who are you rooting for?" Or whatever, and I was like, "Nah, I just like the jersey." And it's got the number 11 on the back, so I like it even more. I like the colors. I like the Adidas. I think it's a Canadian. It's a Canadian team.
That you know what's funny? All right, so you and I are around the same age. I love jerseys also. I don't wear a lot of them, but I love to see people wear in jerseys, and I own a lot of them. I just don't wear them. And the deal is, I probably should. I mean, I spent a ton of money on them over the years, but I love the younger kids, the 20 somethings that go to the bars and they're wearing them all the time. Now, I get criticized, and I hear a lot of people that are our age. Oh, you guys are too old to wear jerseys, and I completely disagree with that. And I say, no, no, no. Why not? Why not represent your team or the way it looks? Or I don't know. It's like, once you're a Dodger fan or a Rams fan or a Charger fan, whatever. I think it looks cool. I don't know why there are people that are so quick to criticize, but it's like that in other people's clothing too. You're too old to wear that or too young to wear that. I'm 100% fine with it. I love the fact you're wearing a jersey.
Next time someone says that to you, you smack them in the face.
You gonna bail me out? You gonna bail me
Yeah,
out of
you
jail?
kick them
All
in the
right.
shin as hard as you can.
Oh my
That
god.
is so stupid. You're not too old to do anything ever like that. If anything, you have earned your stripes to do
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. I agree
I'm
with
so
you.
sick of this. Like,
Yeah,
get
I
over
I agree
yourself.
with you. This is a major topic in sports conversation shows that I do. So I love the fact that hey, I'm going to the jersey, and I'm telling you, I should start wearing jerseys. I have a million of
Yes.
them. I spent a ton of
Yes.
money on them. That's for sure.
I found one just like this one, Adidas with the Adidas plain old school, for $2.99.
There
You
you
think
go.
I don't rock it? It is it's adorable. Like, this one was a couple bucks. Like,
It's
I
awesome.
find, yeah, no, you're not too old to wear jerseys. That's, oh gosh.
Good deal. Good
Yeah.
deal. Yeah, it's funny they ask you what team, because obviously the World Cup is going on right now, and it's it's something else. I'm not a huge soccer fan, but I love the passion of the fans. I love that people are into it the way they are.
Yeah, they really are. There's soccer jerseys everywhere. I heard Bob DeCastro on the news saying he went to the Grove over the weekend and he's never seen so many soccer jerseys and Trader Joe bags.
Look at that. That's hilarious. That's funny.
I thought that was pretty on point there. Yeah, I'm excited. I love the energy. I'm really excited for all the traffic to leave, but you know,
I
that's
got you.
comes with it.
Comes with
I
it.
was so did you watch the Real Housewives of Rhode Island reunion?
I did. I actually I was behind, and now I'm caught up. Okay. So I'm all caught up right now. I love the show. I'm really glad I took your advice and watched this. I mean, they're all train wrecks, and that's kind of why we watch. It is hard for me to tell the names. I'm not good with names anyway on people, but I'm the one girl on the show that gets everything wrong. I told you, he's rubbing a lot more than feet. The
Alicia.
Alicia, she had my favorite line, I think, in the history of these shows. A couple shows back, when she talked about the guy getting upset, and she goes, "Man, I really thought Joe was going to blow his load." When
Yeah.
she said that, I laughed out loud, and not too many things make me laugh out loud anymore in life. I laughed out loud, and they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Everyone in the room knew what the hell that phrase meant except her. And like,
Yeah.
why would he do that? And they're like, what? And it was so perfect. It was so damn funny. I hope they get to it in the next reunion shows coming up. But
I
good God.
that one was classic. The one they keep replaying is when she says, "I love a horse."
Yeah. So stupid. God, she's so dumb. I can't get enough of her. She's my favorite of all time. I
She's in
cannot
they're
get
in
enough
I
of this
think they're
girl.
like they're like in a party bus or something, and she goes, "I love a horse," and all the men just burst out laughing.
Oh my
They're
God.
like, "What?" And
And the way she says horse is hilarious.
yeah,
It's
and
even
she's so
better.
confused why they're laughing. She's no idea. She's like, "What?
Oh,
I love a horse."
oh
Like,
my
I love
God.
a cracker.
She does. She loves a cracker. Everybody knows. And she said, everybody knows I love a cracker.
Well, I
Oh
thought
my
it was
God.
interesting. A couple things about the reunion is that this is the one show where I could tell them all apart, no problem.
Yeah,
Because sometimes
true.
it is a little difficult. Like, I had a hard time with Salt Lake at first with Meredith. Um, it, it, I did not have a problem with this one, and Andy says that so many viewers had a problem telling them apart. And I think I have a harder time with their names, like you just
Yeah,
said, than with telling this cast apart. I mean, I
yeah.
think they definitely were
Yeah, I
distinctly
agree with you. I
different.
I agree with you. Um, let me ask you, when you watch, do you look at it, do you look at people and go, man, there's a lot of surgery? Like, it doesn't
Well,
seem like anyone hasn't had a bunch of surgery in all these shows.
I'm glad you brought it up. A couple things. Who told them to wear that? Why the color blue was that? Why was that color chosen? And can we find if we're going to go with that color blue that they all have to wear, can we find a hue that's like pretty and everybody wear it across the board? Because I don't know what in the holy mess of the blue color spectrum was going on those couches, but it didn't work. It was hard to look at. And I mean, what in the holy nose job? What they gave that woman a ski slope.
Yeah, yeah,
It's terrible. And I'm going to say something. The one thing is it's really very long, her nose, and I feel like at least maybe they could use some of the length to rebuild that bridge because they have completely taken the bridge of her nose away.
yeah,
It is and we're talking about Rula, of course. And the last show we talked about, I called her like a strong woman and like how she kept on a brave face through the whole thing. And now this makes me go, oh my gosh, she changed her whole face. And so she's obviously really having some inner struggles because the timing of that is very telling.
yeah,
Like she did have a different kind of nose, but I thought that it worked for her and I thought that she was beautiful the way she was. I get it if you want to like maybe shave it down a little bit, but what she had done
yeah.
is wild. And I don't want to put that on her because sometimes surgeons don't give you what you ask for, but oh my God, I think if she wasn't happy with it, she would have said something, but it was very it's not a good nose job. It's just not. And now it's making me think, okay, she's unhappy with herself. And then when she really just started blaming Joellen and taking all her anger out on Joellen and calling her a whore, and I'm going, okay, this behavior is not good. She's got a whole bunch going on that she needs
Yeah.
to deal with because her behavior was the name calling and all of that I thought was pretty bad.
No, it was wild. I tell you, I give women, I don't know if I give them more credit than than guys on this situation. I'm I'm like I'm always amazed by people that don't throw a punch. Like, eventually everybody has a line. And Joellen got attacked pretty good, on that show. And so she stayed calm. Like, even her voice stayed pretty calm. And she took some pretty good shots, like shots that I think are pretty offensive to women. And but she jumped back with, "I'm gonna punch you in the nose, so I'm gonna break your nose."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I was like, "Whoa!" I'm looking at it. I was looking at Andy. Look, I love Andy Cohen shows. I'm watching all of them. I don't think Andy's a great moderator on these shows. Sometimes I don't think he's a great listener. Like, I'm like, we want more to follow up on this, and then he moves on to the next thing because I don't think he likes a lot of conflict around him. I think he gets nervous, but I'm watching her, and she was a lot calmer than I think. If that was a room full of guys, there definitely would have been a full fight. There would have been, I'm off the couch and I'm throwing a punch. And she stayed pretty calm. I mean, she was called everything I think a female does not want to be called. From what I was saying, there are a lot of hot words in there that usually you don't say to women. And her voice stayed pretty calm. She didn't move towards her. She did it. That whereas I think the other women on the show were trying to get such a reaction out of her that they didn't get the reaction they wanted.
Yeah, I think a lot of these cast members take beta blockers now too
Yeah.
before they go on. So that's probably quite helpful. But I agree. But at the same time, men wouldn't be insulting each other's looks
No.
and things like that. I just, and then, that Ashley, the one that cries a lot, she from The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, she looked so great at the reunion, and the way she was sitting, I'm like, have you not ever seen this show before? Why are you sitting like that? She looked
Yeah.
crazy. Just was
I
like,
saw it too. That's funny you said
what's
that. I
going
noticed
on?
that too.
Why are you sitting like that, lady? Close your legs, sit up straight. Like, what's going on here?
Her
And I can't.
her her uh her ability to cry the way she does is another unbelievable thing to watch. Like, I don't dislike her at all, but I'm like, holy cow, this is crazy.
I think I revert to smiling and laughing at things, right? I
Yeah.
think it's just sort of an emotion that she has. It's just crying. Like it's just a reaction that her body has. I don't think it's that she tries to, and I don't think it's that she's really so upset all the time. It's just how her body
Yeah.
processes
Yeah.
stuff, right? Yeah, she cries a lot.
I find it
She's a very
entertaining.
sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I find it. She reminds me of Sandra Bullock. That's who she reminds me of.
Oh, okay. I
You
can
know,
see that. Hmm.
but no, it's funny. Do you have a favorite person on that show?
Well, I like Liz. Um, because I feel like Liz is just a baddie. She's just she's strong in who she is, and she's wrong sometimes, and she can be rough.
Yeah.
But um I mean, I like her. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
When she kicks Joellen's chair, when she kind of pulls her hair and then kicks the chair away, I'm like, oh my god, you do not mess with this bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
I enjoy the show. I really do. I really enjoy the show. I'm glad you got me to watch it. I look forward to it.
It's pretty funny. Okay, so I wanted to show you something that I think is really funny. Look at these.
What am I looking at? Are those nipples?
Those are nipples. I was with a tattoo artist that does realistic nipple tattooing for mastectomy patients.
Yeah.
And she gave me these. She also gave me packs of, they are temporary tattoos. So the nipple stickers, and it's really kind of genius. And you wouldn't ever think of this. There's some missing, you see, because I've been
Yeah.
having fun with these. I've had them on my forehead. I've had them in the middle. Um, you can use these for placement.
Yeah.
So women can see where they match up and where they're comfortable or where they want it. And then the temporary tattoos are so that they can wear it and live with it and see if it's something that they actually even want before they get the permanent thing. I
Okay.
think that is just it's such an untapped market.
Yeah.
And you didn't know you need it until someone gives it to you. You're like, oh my gosh, this is absolutely genius and makes the whole process very fun. Yeah. So what I do is I get sent a lot of products for mastectomy in patients, and things for recovery, and from bras to products to inserts, you name it. I get tons of stuff sent. So when I have a collection, I drop it off to somebody local.
Okay.
So I'll put the word out. Usually what I do is I drop it off to a friend so that they can gift their friend.
Okay.
And so I'll be happy to be gifting these to people, because who knew?
Yeah. Yeah, no
So
kidding.
many people, it's kind of crazy how many mastectomy patients don't even realize that nipple reconstruction and nipple tattooing is even available. So it's, it might be uncomfortable talk for some people, but we've got to talk about it because women need to know.
How sensitive is the skin right there to get a tattoo?
Okay. So I'll overshare with you. So I went the other day to a Mission Plasticos that I work with. They do these days where a doctor donates their surgical center,
Okay.
and they have patients come in. They do everything from breast reconstruction to nipple reconstruction to nipple tattooing, and they do it all in this day. And they pump like almost 30 patients out in a day. That's a lot.
Wow.
So I went to watch to see um, what my options are, what I feel like doing. And then I had a doctor look at me. I am not a candidate. It's funny that you say that. I'm not a candidate right now to get the nipple reconstruction
Yeah.
because exactly that. I had radiation done, which radiation lives with you forever and doesn't stop working. So it will always be radiating in this area, which I was unaware of. And when that happens, it's creating scar tissue, it's making dents, it's just moving things around. And so my skin is very, very thin there.
Okay.
And there's no breast tissue and no fat.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like skin implant. And so what the doctor did for me, which I thought sounded like it was going to be so great, it was absolutely traumatizing and horrible. They injected fat. So she put a layer of fat over in between my skin and my implant
Okay.
so that if I decide to see how it sits, does it stay? If it stays, maybe I can do nipple reconstruction in the future if I choose, or the tattoo would like stay better. My skin won't like just soak it up because that will happen. It will just absorb the ink. So to give it some kind of like substance there. Well, she kind of left out the part that like where the scar from the mastectomy is, that it anchors down. So she's like, they're like numbing my boob. I'm like, wait, you have to numb the area to inject this fat? She's like, yeah, because the fat goes in with like kind of a big tool. And I was like, oh, okay, didn't realize that part. And then so I'm completely numb, but she's really hard, like shoving, shoving, shoving. And like I'm going, oh my God, it feels like tearing. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? And she's like, I'm trying to break through the scar. So there was a lot of that going on, which really just felt unnatural and crazy and forceful and brutal and all of those things. So I was supposed to get nipple tattooing the next day, but I was just too bruised and swollen and in so much pain. So to answer your question, you have to have like some kind of good tissue there for the tattoo to stay. But the
Okay.
pain part is going to be pretty low because if you've had full mastectomy, you also have paralysis, right? So you have numbing. You don't feel anything generally in your arm and across your chest. It's something that comes with it for whatever reason, that all the nerves are cut. So you don't feel much.
Okay.
You don't
Got
feel
it.
much.
Yeah.
So to make a long story short, it's way more complicated and way more detailed and like so many things, so many
Yeah.
options, and everybody's so like it's case sensitive. So ladies, there are just so many options out there that I think the doctors don't generally tell you are available.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So from nipple talk too. I read these things all the time. Like I love like weird surveys and like which cat are you, or what kind of smurf are you, and you take the questions. But so I always like do those kinds of things. But I came across one that said, if you could bring back one thing from the 80s or the 90s, what would it be?
Oh, that's interesting. One thing from the 80s or the 90s. That's interesting. Um, what comes to your mind? What are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking this the other day, out of life experience. I was wishing MTV music videos
Yeah.
because I love to have the TV on for like atmosphere, but I also love to listen to music. So for me, MTV was always like the best thing. You can listen to music while you're getting ready.
Yep.
and the TV is on if you want to look at it, and you have the vibe of the TV on, but you don't have to watch it. So I really miss that.
Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't like when MTV went to TV shows and got away from the music. I mean, it seemed like it was just the opposite of everything it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I do like the I mean, I do like that we have access to things. I watch TV shows in the 80s and 90s where someone needs to call somebody and they can't get the phone to let them know what's happening.
Wait, what?
They can't get to the phone to let them know, like, hey, there's an emergency of what's happening.
Who can't get to the phone?
In the TV, sorry, in the TV shows. Let's say there's an emergency. They don't have a
Oh.
cell phone in the 80s or 90s, and there's an emergency. Like, it drives me a little crazy.
So they can't just pull out their cell? Is
Yes,
that what you're saying? Yeah.
yes, and it drives me nuts. Going, man, it's better today, but there is so much stimulation.
Well, yeah, like, so someone had said video stores.
Yeah, we kind of have video stores, right? We have access to everything on our television.
Yeah, so it's more of like we're Googling. But the problem, I think, with not having the video stores is, so like I said to Keegan, oh, we have to watch John Hughes films. Like, she's finally at an age where I feel comfortable sitting and watching
Yeah.
these movies with her. So it's like we have to start with 16 Candles. Well, the problem is I can't find it. So if it was days of video stores, we could just go to Odyssey Video, or whatever, Video West, whatever your video store was, Blockbuster, and you go in and you rent it, and then you have it. Hopefully, if it's not a
I'm
Friday night and it's not the most wanted movie.
Yeah, I've not tried to find a John Hughes film. That's funny recently. But like, let's say I want to watch, someone recommends something to me now. I'll just Google where is this airing now, and if it's
Right.
on Prime or Netflix or wherever, and I can pull up what I want to watch. The access is amazing. The video stores. Remember how disappointing it was when you'd go in and say, "I'm going to rent this video," and they were all gone,
Yeah.
and you're like, "Oh, it's gone. It's already gone," and
Yeah.
you'd be frustrated because you remember they'd have the empty box on the shelf, and then you walk it to the front.
Well, that was
Sorry.
later. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
when people started thieving, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but remember when it used to actually just be the whole video there? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, you're saying like the display was just
Yes.
left, and
Yeah.
all the hard,
We're
I
gone.
was gonna say hard copies, the actual
Yeah.
videos were gone. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
When you it's funny as I said, when you were in high school, and you're in high school around the same time as me, which is so funny thinking about the way things were, is we're always Music Plus. Do you remember Music Plus
no.
in LA? Okay.
No.
In West LA, it was always, you either go to Blockbuster or you go to like Music Plus, and it was always Music Plus was the one that was closest to us, is where you'd go. And the funny thing was, I always looked older, so I looked like I was at least 18 years old, even when I was 16. And so people in school would pay me money. Dude, I'll give you $20 if you rent adult films for me.
I
And
love
then I
it.
would have to go stand in line, and I was like meeting guys in the parking lot handing out porn. You know what I mean? Because they were paying me $20 a shot to literally to hand out porn to these guys because they look too young to rent it, or they're too embarrassed. What if I run into my mom's best friend inside Music Plus, and then I'm sitting there. I was a dealer for these idiots.
I love that. That's a great story. That's great. Well, they don't have to worry about that anymore, right? That's a
No, they don't
great
have
World
to.
Wide Web.
No, they had that room where they had the beads you got to walk through. The beads were hanging on
Yeah.
the doorway, and
Right.
then they had all the dirty movies in the back. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
no, I
was
was from Studio City, so we had Video West was like the big one, and you would see everybody from the industry in there, or Odyssey Video, which was a really big one.
Yeah.
It's funny. I love Odyssey Video because they went out of business, but the building is still there, and it's obviously a different business, but they keep the Odyssey Video, the
Oh,
big,
that's funny.
huge sign up. Yeah, it's so cool. Every time I drive by, it's just like a little nostalgia. Okay, so here was another one. I thought this one was funny. The things we were promised as kids that turned out to be lies.
Oh, that's interesting. What comes to your mind?
Okay, well, flying cars.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm really disappointed in that one. I really was looking forward to that. I that was like, for me, and the other thing was like quicksand. Quicksand is not really a thing, folks. You had me terrified. You had me so scared that I was going to run into some fucking quicksand.
That is fun. And you look at that. You spent so much time in sand. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and there's really not a thing like that's not going to happen. We're not
They
getting
do have
kidnapped.
self-driving cars, though. You know.
Well, self-driving. This is
Yeah.
true, but it's only now. I mean, I'm old
Yeah.
now. Like it was supposed to be like flying cars, like the Jetsons. Another one that I thought was funny that I saw that somebody answered. It said, "Working less because of technology."
Yeah.
And actually, we're working more, right?
We're
We're
working
stuck
more.
on devices more.
I think of
What
that
comes to your
all the
mind?
time. My mother and I argue about this all the time because my mom always wants to swear that everything was better back in the day. And her big thing was I sit up and I watch TV shows from the 50s or 60s, and guys are sitting at a desk and they have a secretary on the other side of the wall. I'm like, well, how little got done in a day compared to now? Meaning just writing a letter. Now you have these emails and you put a stamp on it, your secretary takes it, goes to the mailbox or whatever. But the emails have sped everything up dramatically.
Yes. And now people have their emails go directly through AI, and AI just answers them, which I hate. I hate when people reply to me with an AI generated answer. Just I no longer like that person.
Are you quick to be able to tell if who's pulling the BS on you?
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I don't mind if people like use it to like clean things up a little bit or sound a little bit more professional, but you've got to have some human like energy in there. I can't, if you're just automating all your emails through AI, I don't like you because you're not reading my emails. You're not caring what the answer is. You're not my people.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my last one. Okay. What's become weirdly expensive that used to be normal?
Oh, wow. That's interesting. What has become weirdly expensive? God, it's like everything is expensive nowadays.
But like weirdly, like what? We are paying these prices for this?
Yeah. What comes to your mind?
Well, for me, concert tickets.
Yeah.
Because I have a teenager.
Yeah.
And I'm like that it just really takes the fun out of life because it's like if you can't afford these tickets that are like $5,000, you don't get to go see your favorite artist live. And I think that I understand that artists need a revenue, and they've been gypped a lot with like record sales because right, with streaming, it's really kind of taken the money out of their pocket, and this is how they make their money is their live shows. But also you're taking away like an experience and an appreciation for live music for young kids. And now don't get me wrong, these stadiums somehow are still packed out and sold out at these crazy prices, so they're going to continue to charge them. But you think about the mass majority of kids who are not going to be able to see their favorite artists. I find that to be more than a shame. I find it to be pretty devastating.
No, you're right. It's funny for me as a baseball fan. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, a family of four to go to a baseball game used to be very affordable. I remember Tommy Lasorda, the Dodgers, used to say it, how affordable it was to go. A family of four going to a Major League Baseball game right now is somewhere between $600 and $1,000 for just a regular game. And they can say whatever you want. You want to pay the players. It's not that's the TV money is everything in sports. It's not like that in music. I understand that, but it's like that in sports. They don't even need fans to show up to games for them to still pay the players. That's it's very, very little money. It's
going straight to the stadium, right?
Yeah, it's a great deal. It's a great deal for the owners.
You're bringing up a really great point because that's really not cool.
Yeah.
Because it's not the players, they're not getting paid from ticket sales. That's all the stadium, right? And the stadiums are built. This is all like they only need a certain amount of money to, and I get having to raise the prices a bit because they have to pay their employees more, right? So things, I understand that it goes up a bit, but to take that away, baseball used to be a thing where it's like a dad and or a parent would take a bunch of kids in an afternoon and go, and you can't do that anymore.
Not even close. Cool. It's funny. We just passed Father's Day, and one of the things I was hoping was I was hoping my son who was in town was going to say, let's go to the Dodger game. and that wasn't in the cards. And when I went back and I recorded the game and I watched it later that night, I'm really glad he didn't take me, because it's Father's Day. I know a lot of sons took their dads to the game, or a lot of dads took their sons to that game. The Dodgers didn't play all the stars. They completely half-assed it. They got blown out 12-1. There was no effort to win that game at all. And I'm like, this is a big deal. Like, Father's Day and baseball are a big deal. And the
Yeah.
Dodgers completely zero effort into trying to compete in that game, just because they were resting guys up for the road trip coming up. And I was like, okay, well, it's my one time a year I'm going to a game, and this is what I got, and I still had to pay $1,000. You know what I mean? It kind of
Yeah.
was garbage. It was a garbage move.
Yeah. I don't like that. That's, yeah. And like somebody had mentioned under this kids sports, I mean, just sports in general, right? So Keegan, I've paid for this year of cheer,
Yeah.
and the school fired the coach, which in my opinion is a good move. She she just was like Debbie Downer. You
Yeah.
never saw a smile. She never had that thing with the girls where with the kids where she was like pumping them up and amping them up and like making them feel good. She never did any of that. And I feel like she was running a little bit of a scheme, because she was paying her husband to be assistant coach. She was bringing in friends that were kind of seemed to just be sitting around
Yeah.
and not really doing coaching. Like they just weren't qualified for the jobs. So they fired her and her little circle of employees. And so Keegan had this panic moment, and her and another friend were looking at doing All Stars, which All Stars, if you don't know, is a cheerleading club that's like separate from school,
Yeah.
right? So, like with sports, you have club sports and then you have school sports, and it's expensive and generally way more time consuming, and they're not close by. They're not really local. You've got to drive. And I said to her, "Well, you can go to this one audition tryout thing, but no, like, here's the thing. I already paid for this year. You don't know who the coach is going to be. It's so expensive.
Yeah.
That's not something I'm going to say, okay, yeah, let's start over. I paid. No, I paid. Let's give this new coach a chance. Let's see who they hire. It might be fantastic. Don't judge too early or make any like quick decisions. These sometimes you've got to be patient and see how it plays out. Next year, if you're like, okay, I'm not happy, I don't like the team, I don't like the coach, I'd rather do All Stars, then we can do that before I go paying, right? Because it is expensive.
Yes.
And they make them, it's like it's the uniform, the camps, the coaches, the choreography coaches. We have to pay for all the they have to wear that like warm up gear that they go, and it's so expensive.
Oh yeah, it is.
The jackets, the sweats, the backpacks, the shoes are expensive. That they're 150 a pop, easy. Um, I was like, there's just no way. There's no way. We paid. We're doing it. We're following through on this year. So yeah, sports. I can't imagine how many kids don't get to play sports, because who the hell can afford this?
Yeah, that's why we run a nonprofit that does exactly this for this reason. We don't want a kid not to play because of finances. But you're right. I get a lot of requests that are for cheerleading and youth football and baseball, you name it. But it is a ton of money, ton.
And why?
You know what? It's not exactly the people that are looking to profit. Like when I ran youth baseball and still do, I just did enough cost to cover so I wouldn't have to pay for every kid in the program. But it's the event organizers are the ones that do it. They're the ones that charge the fee that's so expensive to participate.
See, here's what I would do if I were in a situation that had any say so about it at all. I would say, um, you just you wear what you can to work out, like for just practice.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want it to be like everybody wear black shorts and a white t-shirt, something that everybody already has or can easily get for cheap, right? Let's do that. If you need them in uniform, like if that helps you with the look of it, do something really basic and have everybody do that. And then as far as uniforms and stuff like that go, contact the outgoing girls and see if they want to donate any parts of their uniform, or any of their gear, or if they want to sell it at a deeply discounted price or something like that. Because once the girl graduates, they usually have 2 or 3 of each by then. And, what there's nothing wrong with some hand-me-downs. They don't actually wear the actual uniform more than like 10 times in a year, 10, 15 times maybe. So
Well,
it's like, why are we not helping
that's up
out
to the
kids?
that's up to the organization if they want to offer that. But there are
But they
parents out
don't.
there that want, yeah, they're probably making a little bit of a profit off the uniform too, but there are parents out there who want everything brand new and perfect. And if this organization's not going to offer it, then we're going to go to an organization that does, you know,
Well, I don't think the high school parents feel like that. I think it's the coach. The coach. It was her.
could be.
The parents are like, what? Our kids just in a high school sport. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they just stay later after school. We pick them up. Like a lot of parents don't look at this as like, I don't know. I don't think that it's the parents in this case, specifically at our school. I think that they would be fine with whatever the kids were to practice. They'd be fine with it. And yeah, I think I think about that, like how many girls probably their parents said no when they saw those prices.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's
Again, everything seems expensive nowadays. I mean, I'll tell you, as a person who's a high school coach and also a club coach, and we have a rival school, and they have very nice gear. We're 2 miles away, and I was like, for me to compete, I need to get gear that is very similar to theirs. Otherwise, when the star players will go play for the rival school because they want to wear the Nike stuff. You see what I'm saying? Even
yeah,
though Nike is the most expensive stuff, and I can get a no name brand, but they're going to go, but they have Nike stuff. Even like the
interesting.
hats that I now supply in high school are like the ones I'm wearing now. It's a new era hat. It's the one the pros wear, but they're $50 a shot. And so we have two hats. We have a dark one and we have a white one for home. And it's like, oh, well, that's $100 just for hats. Well, you can buy a
Yeah,
hat for $6. But if I keep doing that, the star players are going to go play at the other school because they're going to say, hey, we supply better equipment. It's one of those where
oh,
you see what I'm saying? It becomes a selling point. Not saying it's the right thing to do, but it becomes some. But
right.
for me, I have to do fundraisers. I don't charge the kids. I have to do fundraisers.
I love that. I love that so much. We have to do fundraisers as well.
Yeah, but that
So we
pays
have
for
to
your
pay
gear.
all this,
That pays for
and
your gear. Nobody's ever paying out of their pocket. That pays for the gear.
unbelievable. See, not for us. It pays
Yeah,
for our buses. It pays for the buses, which is big.
yeah,
And it pays to be in the competitions and at
yeah.
the, you know, for the travels, for the traveling games. But it just
It's a
shouldn't
lot
be.
different. When
It's
when I play
yeah,
when I play Nicole, it was literally nobody owned their own bat. Nobody owned their own batting helmet. Some coach would show up with a duffel bag that he got from the Vietnam War, and he would just dump it on the ground, and you just take what you needed when it was your turn to bat, or take the field. But
because it
now
was about the game. It
yeah,
was about the
it was like
game.
$22 to register for the season. That was that was it.
Yeah,
Now all
right.
these kids are swinging $500, $600 bats, and they all have their own bat, and they still can't hit. You know?
Yeah, I don't. It's yeah, that part. I don't like that stuff. I like it when because when I was growing up too, yeah, every kid played soccer, every kid played baseball,
Yeah, yeah, it was
and
affordable.
you just showed up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was affordable. Yeah.
It's too bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, it is. It's a little crazy, but yeah, the times have changed. You're right for sure. You talk about things from the 80s and 90s. I mean, we have great memories, you and I, about friends and hanging out. And I see a lot of kids that don't know how to socialize nowadays. The phone is good and bad. And I announced to you that my son's having a child in December, and we're very excited. And I said the one piece of advice I would give to him is when you're with your kid, stay present. Like, don't look at your phone. I know it's easy to hang out and look at your phone when your kid's doing something, but stay present in the moment. Don't miss it. If that phone's in your hand, it should be to take pictures and video, but don't go looking through Instagram and all that stuff, because you're going to miss those moments. As you know, the kids grow up so fast, you're going to wish you did.
Yes, and also the flip side of that is, do you give them a tablet when they're little? Like to, there are moments where you really need to shut them up,
Yeah, true.
right? Or keep them occupied, I should say. Gosh,
Yeah.
bad mom.
We all know what you're
Bad
talking
mom,
about.
shut them up. Um, keep them occupied. Sorry. Sorry, the bad mom in me slipped out. Um, but so you kind of give them that in certain scenarios, but then you see kids that like need it and want it all the time.
Yeah. True. True. Because the tablet's more interesting than their parents. That's what it is. That's what it is.
But then, the other side of that too is a lot of times they're just watching cartoons or a show, right? And they're with their parent, like at a doctor's appointment or waiting in line for something. And it's because childcare is too expensive
Yeah,
to leave the kid at home with a babysitter or watching TV.
exactly right.
You know what I mean? So they have to come with and watch the show on the road.
Yeah, you're right.
So
No,
you
you're right.
can't fault parents,
No,
honestly.
yeah, no, yeah, I understand all that. All that stuff, especially when you're a parent, you have things to actually get done that are important, that basically pay for bills. There are times you say, I just need you to be occupied while I can take care of this. So I understand the tablet deal. It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how it works overall.
Yeah.
Do you want to get to your mailbag?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Nicole's mailbag, it's easy to find. It's perfectlytwistedpod.com, and just go to the site and it's at the top of the screen. We have 5 questions from Heather today. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Nicole, when you're on a plane, do you usually choose to have the window shade up or down?
Both. Listen, if it's a flight where I need to sleep a little bit, I'll probably I'll watch takeoff and landing. I'll look every now and then if I'm awake, like what's going on out there. But if people are trying to sleep at all, I think it goes closed. I tend in my older years to take the aisle because I have to go to the restroom
Yeah.
quite a bit. And I always end up sitting, if I don't get the aisle and I'm traveling alone, I always tend to get people who are sound asleep the second they sit down, and I'm continuing having to wake them up, or I'm holding it because I'm uncomfortable and holding it. Because I have to drink a lot of water when you travel because there's no water anywhere when you arrive.
Yes.
And flying dehydrates you. So it's like I like overdo the water before I get on a plane because you're not allowed to carry your water. And then when you get to the hotel, it's $10 a bottle. And
True.
it's water's hard to come by.
Yeah.
So I'm back and forth with it. It's up and down. I
do
periodically.
it like you. I do it just exactly the way you do it. Usually, especially on the landings, if it's a city that I really love or a city I've never been to, I want to see what I can see.
Yeah, and any city, it's a great thing to watch. It's just like moments, right, where you're like, yeah, this is very cool. I'm flying through the air, and then I'm about to land.
There's nothing
hopefully land safely on a runway.
Nothing like looking out that window and you're going, okay, I see this, I see that. And then you look back over here and you realize you're blinding the 3 people on the row across the just complete sun just blaring right through their face. And they're looking at you like, hey, asshole,
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, am I the only one that does this? This is the dark side of Nicole coming out. As we're landing, I do this thing in my head where if something were to go wrong in the plane, would we land okay yet? Like at the different heights,
funny.
at the different elevations. I do that. I'm like, I'm like, nope, we're too high. We would all die. We get lower and lower. And as we get lower, I'm like, we could make it. Even if we crash right now, we'll make it. And I do that in my head like a psycho.
Oh my God. I wish you never told me that. And now I'm probably going to start doing that. I wish you never said that. Damn it. All right.
Yeah, I do that.
Next question. Nicole, can you be a great friend without being a good listener?
Well, it depends what the friendship is, right? Like if you're somebody who's just like a good distraction and a good time, because we need different friends for different things, right?
Yeah.
So some friends are those friends that you just go out, you leave everything behind and you just go out and live in the moment and talk about what's happening now, or, like you just go have experiences. And then there's other friends where you can confide in and you want to hear what they have to say. So you like run your issues off of them, right?
Yeah.
So I think, depends what you mean by good friend, but I think what you're getting at is like, a good close support. I mean, you have to be a listener. Everybody, And I think we don't realize that until we get older, is that people don't want, they don't need, you don't have to have answers for people. People just need to get stuff off their chest and feel like they're in a safe space.
Yeah.
And that's so healing. And I think once we realize if we can do that for people and just let them, and like as a parent, that can be hard sometimes because you want to interject. Like Keegan and I were having like a heart to heart the other day. She was like getting some stuff off her chest. It's so hard to not interject, right? Like you want to, and you have to just listen and say that it's normal. You keep telling them that, okay, I hear you. It's normal. Try this, try that. But I mean, I think listening is really the key to being a good support for anybody, whether that be your child, your parent, your friend, your partner, your
Agree.
coworkers. You just have
Agree.
to listen. Yeah.
Agree. All right, Nicole, when you were younger, did you ever babysit?
Full circle moment, what we talked about earlier, Dave. I did one time, I want to say, like one time where a neighbor paid me to come babysit. And the kid went to sleep. I knew these people well. And I just pressed play. I turned the TV on and just was going to watch whatever they had in the VCR. And it was a porn.
Oh boy. Just left it in the VCR. Good God.
Yeah. And I turned it on. And I was like, okay.
Wait,
I feel
now done it. How old were you?
young. So it
Is that the
wasn't,
first
I
time you've ever seen anything like that?
probably one of, probably not the first, but it was in those moments of like your firsts, right?
Yeah.
And the problem with it is that it really made me look at those parents differently because I wasn't old enough to be like, yeah, porn's normal. Everybody,
Yeah.
they're just like us. No, at that age for me, porn is for young people. Like I was one of those,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
think about old people and doing porn, watching porn and like having sex was just, I probably couldn't imagine anything worse. And so
So,
now every time I looked at this couple, all I could imagine was them having sex. Like I just
yeah.
couldn't get that out of my head.
All right. Now, curious, number one, how much did you watch and did you know where to rewind it to so they wouldn't think that you saw it?
I love that you asked that because it was the biggest worry. I was panicking. So I watched it a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
Um, and then I was like, oh my God, are they going to know that I watched this? And I was thinking like they'd be angry at me, not like they were irresponsible for leaving porn in
Yeah.
the VCR. I was taking the blame for it, right? And I was like, oh my God, they're gonna know I watched this. Are they gonna know? And like, do I rewind it? And where did it start? Was it at the beginning? And all of that was going through my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
had almost I had a situation similar to that. I had a neighbor across the street would ask me to watch his kids and everything was always fine. And then one day he asked me to watch his kids and I was like, I can't. I was doing something. But I said, I have a friend of mine that will do it. And the guy went over to watch, I was probably 12 years old. He was 12 years old. And he goes over to watch these kids. Kids go to sleep, just like you said. And while they were sleeping, he found the dad's huge stash of like Playboy magazines. And he went through all of them and then he fell asleep. And now they come home and they're, 100 Playboy magazines, centerfolds just open up all over the floor while he's sleeping. And they called my parents to go, what the hell? What kind of guy did you recommend to watch our kids? And guess what? That guy became a priest.
Kid?
That kid became a priest. Yes.
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah. But
Well,
that was embarrassing. My dad, y'all yelled at me. I'm like, what are you yelling at me for? I wasn't there.
right. And like, why were these, and was he going through the dad's stuff or were these
Yeah,
Playboys
he's
like
probably snooping
easily
around the
accessible?
house. He's probably snooping around the house, which he shouldn't have done. I'm sure the guy didn't
Yeah.
just have him out. But yeah, I was like, God dang it. Yeah.
And how about that? Back in those days, we were asking 12-year-olds to watch kids. Like, can you imagine that
Oh yeah.
today? That would
Yeah.
not fly today.
No, no,
12-year-olds today would not be capable of babysitting.
no, absolutely. All right, next question. Nicole, have you
And
ever
sorry
go
for
ahead.
taking your wholesome question of babysitting into porn talk, but
Well, you got
you
the answer.
asked. Yeah.
You got the answer, Heather. All right, next question. Nicole, have you ever donated blood?
I have. I definitely have. And I think it's a great thing to do. Um, I can't I don't think because of the medications I'm
Yeah.
on anymore,
Yeah.
because there's, stuff in my blood that, yeah. So I don't think I can anymore, but I definitely have. Yes.
Yeah. I know someone who doesn't want to pay for all the blood tests as far as what's going on, in their body. So when you donate blood, they'll let you know what's going on in your body. And so they'll
Oh,
donate
interesting.
blood on a regular basis just to, kind of
Get
get a
blood
health.
report.
Yeah, exactly
Oh my
right.
gosh, you know what? That's incentive for people to go donate blood because
Yeah.
blood is needed. So not a bad idea.
There you go.
Great health tip from Dave.
Not for me. I took it from a friend of mine who does it.
Well, still, you're
Yeah,
spreading the good word. That is a great idea.
there you go. All right.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
listen, blood panels are expensive. Those
very
labs want to
expensive.
charge people hundreds of dollars.
Yes,
So you really just kind of like said something genius because you're doing something really great. You're donating and you're getting that's your silver lining. That's your
exactly right.
reward. Yeah, that's amazing.
All right, last question from Heather. Nicole, have you ever given a fake number?
Yeah.
Yeah,
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 probably every single time.
yeah, yeah. See?
Well, now you can't really do that, right? Because people will say, okay, I'll text you right now, or I'll call you
Yeah,
right now. And
exactly.
they do it to
Yeah.
make sure that it went through and that they have the right number.
There's your 80s question right there. What do you miss from the 80s? The ability to give fake numbers. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I mean, sometimes you have to. You had to. You can't anymore, but yeah, you had to. I think now what you can say is you can find my socials.
Yeah. That's true.
Instagram,
Yeah.
DM me. Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, Heather, appreciate all the questions. Those are great. Again, Nicole's mailbag is at the top of the screen at perfectlytwistedpod.com, and we'll get the questions on there. But Heather, thank you so much.
Yeah. And I want to thank Paco and Pablo for joining us in this episode. We named them. We named them.
Good.
Yeah, we love them and they're part of our family. So anybody who's not watching, I have a buffalo and a cow skull on my wall. And yes, they're real. And yes, I thrifted them. And they came from a guy who's those died on his land
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah.
And they are funny enough, they're to ward off coyotes. That's like the symbolism of them is they ward off coyotes. And we have a running joke here in Burbank because there's so many coyotes on the streets and you see coyote signs. And one mom had said something about the kids shouldn't walk at night because of the coyotes. So whenever Keegan goes out for a walk, I always say, be careful of the coyotes, and it's a running joke that coyotes and
Yeah.
so this is to ward them off. And
We
that's our
have
humor.
them around here too. We have the coyotes around my house too.
Yeah, but not to go out on a walk because you're gonna in the middle of a city. Not the cars, not the creeps, but the coyotes. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.